Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So it's Game Week 26 team selection. In today's video, I'll talk about how I got in Game Week 25, then talk about the clean sheet odds and goal projections for this game week. Then I'll look at my side and look at the fixture ticker from now till Game Week 31. Then I've got a fixture ticker from now till the end of the season if you use your wildcard chip. Then I'll look at my transfer plans and I'll also talk about what I'm going to potentially be doing in Game Week 27 where I make a double transfer. Then I'll talk about the triple captaincy. In the last video that I did, I said that was 80% chance that I was going to triple captain. It's gone down to about 55% at the moment. I'm thinking about potentially not actually activating it and actually saving it for another full game week, and I'll talk you through what I'm going to be doing if I do that. Then I've got a few little like chip strategy plans that I've got, and I'll just walk you through penciled in plans if I don't use the triple captain in game week 26, when am I potentially going to use it. Strap yourselves in, this might be a long video, but I thought I'd just do it in a long format and just talk about everything that I want to talk about, and hopefully you get something from it. If you do get something from it, hit that like button. We aim to get 25 likes on this video. Anyway, intro out the way, let's just get into the video. So first of all, let's talk about how I got in game week 25. I got 74 points. I'm now ranked 62,000 in the world. With them 74 points, I got a green R around 45,000. Really happy with my rank, obviously, at the moment, and I've still got all my second half set of chips still to be played. I've got Timber and Gabriel in my side, and they both kept a clean sheet, so they both got me 6 points. Chalobah didn't keep a clean sheet, but I got DEFCON points, so he got me 4. He had the injured Saka, so I moved him on to Rice this game week, and he got me 5 points. I captained Bruno Fernandes, and he got me 20 points. Erling Haaland, in hindsight, was the better option. He got 11 points, so I lost out on 2 points by that. But I'm not too upset about it because a lot of managers have sold Erling Haaland over the last few game weeks, so I'm happy that I've still got him in my side and he's doing well. Then we've got Morgan Rogers. He got himself a goal and 3 bonus points, so he got 10 points. Over the season, I'm really happy to keep him. I think he'll keep ticking over. I think he's the main man for Aston Villa at getting goals and assists. Then we've got Thiago. He also got himself a goal in game week 25 against Newcastle. They've got a hard game week in game week 26 against Arsenal, but after that, the fixtures are really good. He keeps playing all the time and he's on penalties. So he's one of them players that I think I'll keep long term. But with this in mind, I'm happy with my side, and let's just start looking at the game week 26. So first of all, we've got the clean sheet odds. Arsenal at the top, they've got a 38% and a 51% chance of keeping a clean sheet. This obviously could change in the next few hours. The goal projection, the clean sheets and goal projections do move over the few hours, so up till deadline these could change, but I think they'll be around this mark. So if you haven't got 2 Arsenal defenders, if that's an Arsenal defender and a goalkeeper, then I do think you should be probably buying one this game with them having a double. And they're most likely to keep a clean sheet nearly every game week. I know they're blanking game week 31, but with them having a double, it's worth buying them and then potentially selling them just before that blank game week if you need to. Then we've got Crystal Palace just behind them. They've got Burnley at home this game week. Then they've got Wolves at home in game week 27. The one thing that I do want to mention with Crystal Palace is they've got them playoff matches in Europe. Just before that West Ham fixture, they're away in Europe. And then just before that Wolves fixture in game week 27, they're at home in Europe. And we know how Crystal Palace have got on after Europe. They've not been the greatest. They've been trying to play the best side in Europe as well most of the time. So we don't know if they're going to be a bit jaded for that Wolves match in game week 27. So I just wanted to flag it. Next, let's talk about the goal projections. Arsenal well ahead at the top, but that's because they've got a double game week basically. 3.86. I don't think there's many players in the Arsenal side that I'd recommend buying. Forward wise, you could get Declan Rice, you haven't got him in your side. You could go for somebody like Gyökeres, Havertz. But I'm not too sure if I would do that because there is a little bit of rotation risk because there's Gabriel Jesus as well, and are they going to both start in both games to make it worth it? Because in game week 31 they're blank and they could get rested in the next few game weeks, all 3 of them, so I wouldn't be too keen on buying them. I think it's Declan Rice, the defenders in Gabriel, Timber, maybe Calafiori, but then you're risking a rotation, and then there's David Villa in goal if you want to buy a goalkeeper. But let's move on to my to my side for game week 26. So I've got Timber and Gabriel and Rice with all with a double game week. Then we've got Chalobah and Enzo at home against Leeds. I'm happy to have them. Senesi away against Everton. I'm happy to have him. Then I'm not too sure who to go in goal. Still 50-50 on going for Rugen. That I think is obviously a better side, but they're playing away against Aston Villa. So do I really back Brighton to keep a clean sheet away against Aston Villa? Probably not. So do I go with Dubravka just because he's away against Crystal Palace? I know Crystal Palace are likely to score as well. So if they both concede, I think Dubravka is going to get more save points. So I'm thinking, do I just go with that and hope that Crystal Palace have one of them games where they're just not playing as well as we used to think they was? Then I've actually started Thiago at the moment. There's Krupe on my bench that I could start, but I'm not too sure about Krupe long term now, just because he said that the manager said that he might rotate the front line, especially now they've got that new player. So I'm thinking of starting Thiago just because they're at home. Brentford have been really good at home and creating chances. Brentford are really good for getting penalties, and if they get penalties, Thiago's going to take it. And with me having double Arsenal defence, I'm thinking if I have Thiago and he scores, I don't want him sat on my bench as well and lose the clean sheet on Timber and Gabriel at the same time. So I'm thinking start Thiago, have the better player that's more likely to want to score goals. He's just behind Haaland for the Golden Boot, so he's obviously going to be wanting to score goals. But we'll move on to the next bit. I've only got one free transfer, but let's talk about the transfers and my plans. So these are the fixtures just before we do, and we've got the fixtures from now till game week 31. Just because I'm not thinking about using a transfer this game week, I'm thinking of rolling it. As you see on my side, I didn't feel like I needed it, and I feel like in game week 27 it'd be better. So my focus is obviously just looking at game week 27 to 31. Then I'm going to be wildcarding. So if you are using your wildcard in game week 32, you should be looking at really this fixture ticker and then focusing on your players from these sides. So you're probably looking at players from Fulham, Liverpool, Aston Villa and Bournemouth really. You could go for somebody from Crystal Palace because they've got Wolves, but then they've got United, Tottenham. Tottenham are looking a bit rubbish, but they could turn it on against Crystal Palace being a London derby. Then they've got Leeds, but then they're blanking game week 31, and then if you haven't got too many fires to put out, but I think a lot of us will have triple Arsenal by that point. Haaland's still on our side. So buying a Crystal Palace, I'm not too sure on. And these are the fixtures from game week 26 to the end of the season. If you've already wildcarded, obviously you need to focus on the whole season now, not just the short term, what I've just shown you on that one. So this is the fixture ticker. If you've wildcarded or you plan to wildcard this game week, you're looking at this. So Arsenal at the top. That's mostly because they've got the double this game week. Once that double game week comes out of it, they might drop down a few places, obviously because they're blanking game week 31. But I think even on a wildcard or planning, I think you get your triple Arsenal. Maybe get Raya because he blanks in game week 31. Then you've only got two outfield players from Arsenal that blanks in game week 31. Then you've got Haaland potentially, and then everybody else should be able to start. Liverpool really high up if you're wildcarded or plan to. Aston Villa, Man City just above near the top, but the blank in game week 31. So if you want to pause the video and look at this, but I'll move on. So this is my shortlist, and I just want to talk about my transfer plans quickly, just because as I'm rolling this game week, I've looked at a few transfers for game week 27. I've realised I've only got the money to be able to afford it. 0.0. That's me rushing to buy a player early, if you know what I mean, because if the deadline passes, one of these players that I'm gonna buy or gonna sell goes up or down in value, I might have to make the transfer early. But the deadline is on Tuesday tomorrow. Then we've got an 11-day break until, well, not a break, but 11 days until the next deadline. So making early transfers, do I really want to make 2 early transfers, lose both of my transfers, and then get to the deadline and game week 27 and realise I've got other problems in my squad and I've already used my transfers? So it's put me off the transfer, but I wanted to talk about it now because if I do make the transfer, at least you know what I'm going to be doing beforehand, because if one of these players goes up or down in value, I need to do it. But this is my shortlist. I put Henderson number 1, but all 4 of these Crystal Palace players that are at the top, they're on my shortlist just because if I make a transfer this game week, it's one of these players. Because I've already got my triple Arsenal, I don't fancy any Wolves players even on a double, because I don't expect them to do much over the course of their to game week 31. But I do think over the next 2 game weeks at home against Burnley and Wolves, Crystal Palace could be good. I don't think I'll be making the transfer. So once the game week 26 deadline's passed, if I haven't got a Crystal Palace player, these 4 players will be taken off, even though they've got still at home against Wolves in game week 27. I think I'll be then thinking, nah, it's too close to game week 31. I don't think I'll be making a goalkeeper change, but Petrovic, Kelleher and Sanchez are decent options that I'm looking at if something does pop up, if Verbruggen gets injured or whatever. But I think I'll just survive with Dubravka until game week 32 when I wildcard. Then we've got the defenders. I could potentially buy a defender in the next few game weeks after Chelsea play Leeds and Burnley in the next 2. Then the fixtures don't get the greatest. So I was thinking maybe I go for somebody like Van Dijk, Konate with the money from Chalobah. But I could just downgrade all the way to somebody like Hill if I needed the money, or Cash or Collins, because they've all got some decent fixtures and they all play in game week 31. Then for the midfielders, this is where I'm not too sure what I'm going to do. So the option is to sell. Anyway, I'll just actually move on to the next slide and actually talk you through it because I can't remember. So option number 1 is to do 1 transfer, and that's Declan Rice out. I've got 2.5 million and 2 free transfers, but just use 1, get Mbeumo or Wirtz into my side. The thing that makes me favour Wirtz is the fixtures from now till game week 31 just seem better for Liverpool, but Mbeumo's been in really good form. The second option is to go Declan Rice and Krupi to Wirtz and Raul. I'll just have enough money to be able to do that, 0.0. Looking at that, I'm thinking, do I trust Raul? Potentially not. So then I'm looking at option number 3, and this is the one what I think I'm favouring, but do I want to make it 11 days before a deadline if one of these players goes up or down? And that's selling Declan Rice again. I don't really need to do it, but with me using my wildcard in game week 32 anyway, and in blanking in game week 31, and they've got Tottenham and Chelsea in the next 2, I know that he could easily get DEFCON points in both of them ones and get 5 points. But I'm thinking going with the upside and going with somebody like Dango, and then I can afford going from Krupi all the way up to Ekitike. Brentford have got some really good fixtures from now. From game week 27 onwards, and Krupi, I'm not too sure if he keeps playing. Ekitike missed a really good chance against City, but he should be starting all the way up until game week 32-ish, when Isaac could be back. But even if Isaac's back by game week 32, I don't expect him to be taking up more than 30 minutes of Ekitike's time. I think he'll keep starting. So that's what I was thinking, but I don't have to go with Dango. That's what making me think maybe I can just save it, and then instead of getting Dango, I could get somebody like Ryan. I could get somebody like Tavernier the next game week after if he's back fit, or I could get Buendia. Don't really fancy him Buendia, but I think there's scope to have a look at them. And then the other option was in game week 28, once Chelsea have played Burnley, is to potentially sell Enzo Fernandez and Szoboszlai be back from suspension. So I could be looking at doing one transfer, Enzo to Szoboszlai. So that's my transfer plans. Let's have a talk about captaincy, triple captain, and what I'm thinking. So when I did my video on Saturday, I was like 85% sure that I was going to triple captain. I did activate it when I did the video, and I've now unactivated it. I know they've got a double game week, and we potentially won't have a double game week, but I'm not too sure if I fancy. It feels hard. It feels strange for me to captain a defender, let alone triple captain a defender. And I'm thinking, if City do get a double, even if it's in 33 or 36, would I not rather just have it on Haaland and just go with Haaland? Because Haaland could get easily 2 goals in a double game week at minimum. So I'm thinking to not triple captain. I'm thinking if he gets a double in game week 36, it could be the option to go there. So I'm now back to 50-50. It's very hard to call, but I'm probably swaying more. Well, yeah, but probably like 55% not triple captaining now, and leaving it and just going. I've got all 3 of them. Captain him, and not be worried that they're going to concede, because away against Brentford isn't the easiest. Away against Wolves, they should keep a clean sheet. I'm not going to deny that, but as the first fixture against them, when they was at home against Wolves, a massive deflection, and Arsenal conceded against Wolves, and it wasn't the easiest of games for Arsenal. It was the time when everybody captained Saka and he got them assists, which was a bit deflected. So it was a hard game for them, and Wolves have been a little bit better. So not too sure if I want to triple captain a defender when they could potentially concede, and he gets 10 points, tripled up, 10, captain, he's 20, tripled, he's 30. So I'm getting an extra 20 points. Or do I go with somebody like Erling Haaland and hope that he gets 2 goals? And if he gets goals, he's probably going to get bonus points. That's an extra 3. And he's on for the golden boot, which he'll always want to score goals. And I don't think Haaland will get much of a rest. So I'm thinking I'd go with that. And if it's not Haaland, do I go with somebody like Semenyo instead? And the worst case is I've got a lot of players to choose from in game week 33. I could easily triple captain in 33 when there's a lot of double game weeks fixtures, and just go with somebody with a high upside. If that's Haaland again, if he's got a Burnley in that one or a Crystal Palace in that one, probably better in game week 36 if he's got Burnley, but Burnley could easily go somewhere else. So we don't know where the fixtures will go, and I'm thinking, not triple captaining, maybe triple captaining in 33 if I need to, and not bench boost then. Yes, I don't get all the bench boost points from the players that are triple captaining, but the players that are probably going to be on my bench in a game week 33 bench boost, they're probably not going to have massive upside anyway, and then I probably want to get rid of them anyway. So if I don't get them, I could plan further ahead with these players, and I could use the bench boost somewhere else. So thinking I'm not doing it, and if I don't do the bench boost, I mean the triple captain this game week, I just wanted to quickly just talk about where could I use it, and I think I've already talked about it, but yeah, double game week in game week 26 is definitely an option, but I definitely will be wildcarding in game week 32 now, I think. Right after that game week 31, my side is okay from now till game week 31, that I don't need to do much. I'll be able to use one transfer every game week and should be okay. And then I'm going to bench boost our triple captain in 33. So the triple captain is still an uncertainty. But if I don't use the bench boost, I could triple captain somebody that's got a really good game week. and have 11 really good game week players. And then my bench could have decent players, but players that got some really good fixtures after that. Then just focusing fully on the double game week, I could have like a player that's got a really good fixture in game week 36, 37, 38 instead, that works out to give me better points long term, if you know what I mean. And then free hit in game week 34 is most likely because the triple captain or bench boost, I'll have 11 players that are doubling in game week 33 that they'll be probably blanking in game week 34, and then potentially use the triple captain if I don't use it in 33. I could use it in 36 instead. Even if not, I just wait for Haaland to play Burnley at home and triple captain him then and see what happens. I think I'd rather go with an attacking player in Erling Haaland's the player that I always want to captain. I didn't go with him this game week, and I'm thinking, do I not just go back to him? So this is my side for game week 26. I'm now just captaining Gabriel at the moment. From now till deadline, will I change that? Potentially. And I'll lock in my side around 20 minutes before deadline and actually post it. This time I keep forgetting. I keep getting to the deadline and going out and forgetting to actually post my teams, but I'll post it because a few managers have direct messaged me and said, "What's your team?" And I forgot and I had to send it after. But yeah, so I think I'll just captain this game week, but if I see a lot of managers triple captaining, it might make me think, am I being stupid not captaining Gabriel? I get the points that a lot of managers are thinking, like, we know exactly what's happening, we know the landscape, we know Gabriel's potentially going to be okay for these 2 game weeks. The thing that counterbalances, we haven't got Arteta's press conference until after the deadline. His press conference is on Wednesday, so we don't know if Gabriel is fit. I'm certain he will be, but I'm just trying to say we don't know, do we? And training and things like that, we could find out deadline that one of these players isn't actually fit. So thinking not to triple captain. The thing that I do like about triple captain is, obviously we know what the fixtures, but they've got an FA Cup game where I think they'll rotate a lot, and then they've got like a good break, nearly a week break for all the players that play on Thursday, for them to be ready for the next game. So in that fact, I think that a lot of the starting 11 will play both games. When the other type of players were the other double game weeks in the season, if it's 33 or 36, they'll be probably 3 days apart. So there is a little bit more chance of rotation. And that's why I'm thinking of not bench boosting in 33, where we've got 3 days break. You're buying players and bench boosting, and your bench could all have a game where they don't play as well. So you could only have 3 players you could have only 11, 12 players that double, and all the rest could, the other 3 could only play one of the games. So yeah, I'm still thinking about it, but obviously you'll know if I'm going to triple captain or not triple captain before deadline. But get in the comment section, let me know what you're thinking to do. Are you going to triple captain this game week, or are you not? Have I talked some sense, or am I going the wrong way and you think I should just triple captain and stop going too into it and thinking too much about it? I just think I'd rather go with the attacker. And I think Erling Haaland, further on in the season, could do it again. I got him, I triple captained him first half of the season. I think everybody wanted to triple captain him first half of the season. And I think even a player like Erling Haaland at home against Burnley, away against Burnley, you expect him to get 2 attacking returns. So I think he could easily match Gabriel for me. even on a single, even if it doesn't come out to be a double. So there we have it. I'll be back in. I'm going to have a little bit of a break, or I'm going to wait until my microphone has arrived. I've ordered a new mic, as I said. Hopefully, it'll be here in a few days, and that'll be the end of microphone issues from then onwards, and I'll be okay to do recordings with no problems. Thank you, everybody that stuck by me through all these problems, all the microphone issues, and also thank you everybody that's stuck by me with me trying to get better at this kind of stuff, because I'm sure you was well aware weeks before that I was always cutting and chopping my videos and there was no flow to it because I was stopping starting recordings to be able to get a sentence out, and I'm trying to just record them all in one, even with the mistakes, and just let it be. So I'm happy that you're hopefully sticking by me and enjoying the content. It's hopefully going to get better and better, like you probably noticed over the last few weeks. Hopefully that I am getting. I'm saying this with hopefully that you're not going to tell me it's still shite. But yeah, thank you everybody that's watching. I'll be back as soon as my microphone's here and I know it's working. I'll be back to do another video, and I'm thinking I'll do something. If I don't triple captain, I'll be talking about potential when I'm going to use the triple captain. If it's not, I'm going to do something on like the landscape of how I plan. Because I know there's a few FPL managers that are new to the game, and I just want to kind of give a bit of 5-6 tips of what I look at, if that's price rises, if that's what websites I use, what goes through my thoughts of why I make a transfer, etc., etc. So once my microphone's back, if it's not too late into the potential double game, well, the game week 27, then I'll do a video on that. But I'll be back very soon. I don't think I'll be doing a wildcard video this game week. I don't think anyone will be using the wildcard. I don't think I'll be doing a transfer targets video until my microphone's here. One, because my microphone, and two, because I think it's better to just wait and see what happens in the Premier League games, what happens in the FA Cup games, and then do a transfer targets after we know a bit more information on the FA Cup. So once the FA Cup games have been played, then I'll be doing a transfer video once my microphone's back. But transfer targets video is not going to be coming not long after deadline of game week 26. I'm going to hold off, give a little break, and try and update these graphics a little bit just so they're a little bit better moving forward. I've ignored them for a long time just to try and get the content out, but I'm going to try and update these graphics a little bit just so they're hopefully a little bit better than they are right now. Anyway, I'm waffling on. I'm going to stop here. Hit that like button. My aim is to get 25 likes on this video. Signing off, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.